Hey folks, how you doing? Once again, it is Monday, the 3rd of March, 2025, and I come to you with news of the crypto and Bitcoin markets. Yes, Bitcoin is crypto, but Bitcoin is the mother of all cryptos when it comes to the market, right? Or the 500-pound gorilla, so to speak. And what does it mean, right, that the President of the United States has issued an executive order basically saying that he wants to establish a U.S. national crypto reserve? Well, the fact that he wants a cryptocurrency reserve to be established with the 5 coins that he specified in his two little tweets, right? Um, which are Solana, XRP, Cardano, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. And those being the 5. Hello, buddy. Hello. You're so cute. What does it mean? What does it mean for the U.S. strategic interests economically and politically? Well, it means that, first of all, if you hold those 5 currencies, and they are currencies now, effectively, because the President of the United States wants those assets to be held in a strategic reserve, a strategic digital currency reserve, right? A strategic crypto reserve is a strategic cryptocurrency reserve. So they're currencies. What does that mean? Well, that means technically, even though David Sachs announced in some tweets that he had sold all of his cryptos before taking his role as the crypto czar in the administration, that he won't have to be out of the game once that crypto reserve is launched. Because if they're just cryptocurrencies, well, last time I checked, it is not illegal or unethical for members of the cabinet or the chief executive of the executive branch to hold currency, right? So technically speaking, he could very well be holding those currencies again very soon once that plan is launched. And since that plan was already ordered, technically speaking, maybe he's already holding. He could be holding them legally now. Maybe he doesn't, by the way, which is, somewhat commendable if he actually sold all of his assets. Anyway, but that has nothing to do with the bigger picture of what this means, although it is related to the bigger picture of the ethics of how this is run. And is it ethical for the chief executive of the executive branch to have his own meme coin and to hold financial interests in a market which he has just basically said he's giving his approval to and all that? Personally, I don't see any particular big problem with it. Certainly not the hill I would die on if I was politically his opponent, which I'm not politically his opponent, obviously. But I mean, I can see some politicians raising questions about it, and that's fine, but I don't think there's actually any ethical issue there because it is a wide and broadly distributed market and it's global, and they are currencies, right? They are cryptocurrencies, digital currencies. We've also seen people like Peter Schiff come out and say, Mr. Gold himself, Goldbug man, saying, oh yeah, it makes sense to have a Bitcoin reserve but not an XRP reserve. Well, that's funny. And then he also said, well, it makes sense to have a Bitcoin reserve because Bitcoin is compared to gold, and Bitcoin is basically considered gold 2.0. And so that makes sense because Bitcoin is, he said, digital gold is better than analog gold, which I find quite funny, coming from the guy who not long ago, in fact, there are clips of it, you can see him saying on YouTube that Bitcoin is nothing like gold. Well, now he's saying it is. So Mr. Schiff's still trying to stay relevant. Hi there. Hello, Sarah. How are you? I'm okay. How are you? Um, so he's trying to find relevance. Right? We also saw. I mean, you're seeing all kinds of messages coming left and right, all center, all over the place. People having big, wide opinions about this stuff because obviously, look, this is, you know, news does not make the charts, right? News does not make the markets, but news is reporting stuff that's happened in the geopolitical space and in the financial space, and in the bigger picture, not in the trading picture, not even in the investing picture, but in the bigger picture of global economics, what's happening geopolitically with respect to currencies, for example, makes a big difference when you introduce a new asset class and effectively say the United States, which is the holder, the chief principal issuer, well, the chief principal lender, kind of the Federal Reserve's banknotes, known as US dollars, right? Um, and that's the world currency reserve at the moment, still is. And you see all of the shifting political geotectonics, if you will. You see the shifting alliances, shifting alignments. Everything is changing. This is very much in line with what people in the crypto space who are observant have been saying is likely to happen. Um, and it's happening. And there's really no denying that it's happening. And it's going to continue to happen. There's really no denying that this is sort of emblematic, if you will, of the very large change. Hi there, I see you. This is a very large shift in the economic direction of the United States and, frankly, of the world. Right? You want to see hyper Bitcoinization? You're kind of about to see it. Right? The fact that the United States is now saying, well, we're going all in and establishing a national crypto reserve, right, means that the US dollar has basically been sent to a different place. Will the US dollar remain the national global reserve for now? Yes, it will. Will it remain the national and global reserve currency in the future? Honestly, it's very doubtful. If the United States, and it's really not if, it's when the United States can say that it has, the majority of the coins of the currencies that it wants, and it can clearly say, look, we have, X million Ethereum and this many hundreds of thousands or possibly a million or more Bitcoins, and however many ADA and Solana and Ripple, it is going to ensure the financial future of the United States economy for the foreseeable future, since cryptocurrencies are still a nascent asset class. And what does all that mean? Well, in English, it means that the U.S. has just ensured that it will be fiscally in the black, or in the green, if you will, as these cryptocurrencies become more and more prevalent. And they've also ensured that these markets will remain relevant, right? That crypto will remain relevant and grow with um, with time, this will just get bigger. So, what does that mean as a trader day to day? Well, as a trader day to day, this really means nothing. Right? Keep trading day to day. That's what I do. I don't care about when it comes to trading. I don't care about about news even when it comes to investing. To be honest, it really is almost meaningless. It's practically meaningless, right? Yes, there are some pieces of information that may be useful for longer term holds, just to know the general scope of things. In terms of trading and investing, it actually has nothing to do with it. It really is it just comes down to the VEPs, and that's it. That is all that moves markets. Period. End of story. But when it comes to strategic geopolitics and economics, there really is no denying at this point that cryptocurrencies are not just a form of currency, but they are actually the future, right, of finance. And people like me have been saying this for a long time. Um, you really can't deny it anymore. And you might try to. You might even hate crypto. You might even tell me it's a scam. Go right ahead. Tell me it's a scam. But the fact that a president of the United States has ordered a national crypto reserve, whether you think it's a scam or not, changes the landscape. And again, look, you can hate it all you want, but many of the smartest people that you could possibly meet, and I'm not talking about politicians, and I'm not even talking about bankers, but the mathematicians and the scientists who work and the economists who work on these topics and the analysts who work on these topics, not the market analysts, but the technical analysts, not about technical trading, the technical scientific analysts who look at the different aspects of these cryptocurrencies. Are you smarter than all of them? Do you have more brain power than all of them put together? Could they be wrong with their herd mentality? Could it turn out that every single one of these cryptocurrencies is a scam, and that all of these cryptocurrencies have fooled the entire United States government and every government around the world that's buying into them? Do you really think Ethereum and Bitcoin and Solana and XRP and Cardano are scams? If you really think that, I really think you haven't done your homework. That's my honest opinion. The probability of all 5 of those cryptocurrencies being a scam, from a person who works with probabilities all day, every day, I got to tell you, the probability is so small, it is basically negligible. Okay. Now you can say, well, what about Sam Bankman-Fried? Sam Bankman-Fried was not a cryptocurrency. He was a co-founder of an exchange that pulled an old world traditional fiat market scam. He had money in one pot, money in another, and he was dipping from one pot to put. Sam Bankman-Fried did not have the right to use the money that he used. That was criminal. CZ also was, guilty for the financial fraud that he committed by cooking the books, etc., over when he was running Binance. And he also spent time in prison for that. Not a long time. Some months, I think, right? So he got off quite lightly, but still, he spent some months in prison as part of his plea deal. And he still walked away extremely wealthy, like still the wealthiest individual, I think, in crypto at the time. Now it's probably Michael Saylor, not his company, MicroStrategy, which is the company that has the most crypto. They have more Bitcoin than anybody except Satoshi at this point. Although BlackRock and Citadel also have around, I think BlackRock has around 500,000, right? So I don't know if it's Strategy or BlackRock that has the most, but in any case, they both have a lot, right? Just between those two companies, they have almost 1 million Bitcoin. Add that up to Satoshis, that's 2 million. That's 10% of all Bitcoin in the hands of two companies and a person that, or whatever, an entity known as Satoshi, that we have we have no idea if Satoshi's alive or anything, right? So basically, two entities that we do know of that are monitored and well known, Strategy or MicroStrategy and BlackRock, own almost 5% of all crypto, of all Bitcoin. And of course, Citadel also owns, BlackRock also owns other cryptos. They don't only own Bitcoin, right? They also issue Ethereum ETFs. They have a lot of that too. So the biggest holder of crypto overall, probably BlackRock, I would imagine at this point. Although the United States does have a lot of Bitcoin and a lot of Ethereum and a lot of other coins that they've seized. And unlike Germany, which requires seized evidence to be auctioned off or sold or whatever, the U.S. does not have to do that with every single bit of its seized assets, right? It has the right to retain some of it. So it'll be interesting to see how much of the seized assets they put into the National Crypto Reserve and how much they don't. And more interestingly than that, we've got a heck of a week coming up in the crypto space. Don't kid yourself. This is really not the time to be not paying attention to the market. This is the time to be noticing what is happening, because it's days and weeks like this that can make your entire year as a trader. Again, overall, as a trader, you want to stack up the wins over time. The little wins over time will rack you up far more than 1 or 2 big trades, 100%. But on days and weeks like this, when you have a lot of volatility, there's a lot of opportunity for a bunch of little trades, like low time frame trades. So I'm not saying trade the news, because I'm definitely not saying trade the news, because the news is lagging information and it will deceive you and it will mislead you and it will help you just get wrecked. But I am saying pay attention with what's happening this week in the markets if you're a trader. All right, like right now, on the day so far, the volatility on the new week for crypto, for different bunch of cryptos, volatility overall, getting nice mixed reads, a lot of them to the downside. You are seeing a lot of direction predictors looking to the downside. But daily and intraday, it's a different story. You are seeing a lot of downward pressure, actually, a lot of sell pressure. But at the moment, right, like for example, Bitcoin is finding that it is actually responding right now more to buy pressure than it is to sell pressure, right, at the moment. Now, could it be that we will see the day today and to the upside for a lot of these coins? Well, the answer is it's certainly possible we will see today and to the upside for a lot of cryptos. At the moment, Bitcoin is also looking pretty decent for a move to the upside today. Although at the moment, it's still responding mostly to negative or to sell pressure. But as I always say, look intraday, look on the lower time frames, and you'll see exactly what's happening, because that's where the changes happen. The central daily range has been tested. The New central weekly range has been tested. So it's your guns are blazing. Let's go, right? The asset certainly could, even though it's a ranging day and it's a ranging week based on the VRE widths, the asset certainly could fly to the upside or the downside this week. It certainly could be making big moves this week or next week. Does it have to? No. In fact, it does not have to, right? We could easily see, again, it's a ranging day and it is a ranging week. So even if we have trending days within the ranging week, you could have big moves to the upside followed by big moves to the downside or vice versa. Or you could have a bunch of little moves driving people crazy. Like, why isn't everybody buying? Well, the answer is because there's buy pressure and there's sell pressure, and if people are jittery because they don't know what to do, right? Then, if the FOMO herd and if the FUD herd are standing on the sidelines waiting for their marching orders from their favorite YouTube shillers, meanwhile, the HFT firms are looking at the liquidity situation and they're looking at the assets in general and deciding what the maths are saying in terms of where the targets are. You could have a ranging week that goes quite sideways this week. Does that mean it's impossible to have a trending move? No, the maths are indicating it's a trending week and a trending day. I mean, a ranging week and a ranging day. That does not mean that we can't have a day with nice trending moves today. Of course we can. And it doesn't mean that the week can't end up significantly or down significantly. Of course it can. But there will probably be a lot of ranging motion within this week. That's the probability. And if you're trying to beat the probabilities, you got to keep in mind that although Bitcoin does like to beat probabilities a lot, most of the time it doesn't, right? The probabilities are pretty strong. Most of the time, even Bitcoin, and the crazy alts, they do operate within probabilities all the time, but most of the time, the more common probabilities tend to dictate the order of the day, meaning first, second, third normal distribution levels, Laplace distribution levels are like 68.3 or 95.5 or 99.7. Those are kind of like the main three distribution levels on Laplace and on normal distribution, because those are pretty strong distribution points, right? So keep that in mind. And happy trading, folks. We don't oh, by the way, of course, be sure to join the Alpha Trading live stream, which starts at 11 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Do that and come learn about how we trade with these assets. You can see us chart specific assets. You can see us chart Bitcoin or Ethereum. I think Ethereum, maybe we'll do Ethereum today. We don't usually look at Ethereum, actually. Sometimes we do, but not often. We don't really like that coin so much over there, but whatever, we'll look at it. And Solana and Cardano and Ripple, and Litecoin. Maybe some meme coins like Bonk or whatever. Come on in. Any asset you really want to see, we'll pretty much look at it. As long as it has a decent enough history to actually look at. Like if it's got, okay, maybe we'll look at it on the 1 minute or the 3 minute or 15 minute or something. But if it's got like a brand new coin or something, we're not going to look at it if it doesn't have any history, obviously. But yeah, come on into the Alpha Trading Discord. That's at alphatradinghq.com/Discord. Once again, alphatradinghq.com/Discord. Hope to see you there. Meanwhile, happy trading. And the traditional market's open in less than a half hour now. So keep your eye on what's going on with traditional assets. Have a look at how they're moving. Keep your eye on Dixie. Keep your eye on SPY. See how they're responding to the VEPs. They're moving along with the VEPs, really. And that'll do it for now, folks. I'll see you guys in the next one. But just remember, this whole thing with the digital crypto reserve This is huge. And having a national digital cryptocurrency reserve really sets off a big, bright future for cryptocurrency, in my opinion. I don't think there's any question about that anymore. This is like one of those major pieces of news developments in the geopolitical space and the economic broader picture space. And this is actually a really big deal. Nothing to do with the prices. The prices, I'm sure, will do fine of these assets. They're going to be fine. These 5 assets that were specified, they've got a heck of a future ahead of them now, by executive order, like literally. But apart from the prices of those assets, the significant impact this will have on society, if you're in this space now, you're really, really early. And good for you. Don't give up now. The fun has just begun. Whether we are in a doesn't, and by the way, there's no bull markets, there's no bear markets. That's just extended buy pressure or extended sell pressure periods. Okay, so don't believe this whole we're in a bear market. Those are silly things people say to make economics sound simple to people. You can have plenty of up days in a bear market and plenty of down days in the bull market. Okay, ignore all that if you're a trader. But broader picture economically, having a U.S. national cryptocurrency reserve is huge for cryptocurrencies. Huge. You're going to start seeing adoption rates now dramatically increase. Really, they're going to increase dramatically. You're going to see not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% of people using crypto or holding crypto. You're going to see the U.S. population and the global population approach 10%, 20%, 30%, 40% of people holding some type of crypto, probably within a few years, maybe sooner. Like, don't be surprised when that happens. Right? By 2030, at this point, honestly, I'd be surprised if less than, it's 5 years from now. I'd be surprised if 5 years from now, if less than 40% of the people on the planet actually have some crypto. I'd be surprised if this currency reserve actually becomes a real thing. And it could easily be over 50% by then. But I'd be surprised if it's less than 40% in another 5 years. I really would. Like, this radically changes practically everything financially. So enjoy. Happy trading.